The thing that's crazy to me is that Candace Owens is willing to sell out a black man to help her white husband. Which is further proof to me that if you put all these coons in a battle royale, they won't work together to support white supremacy. They'll eat each other to be the best coon of all coons.
NANI?!
Dynamite! To it. Damn it. I can't believe we're here again. I have a whole playlist dedicated to I've covered Kanye West. I knew that I was starting to cover a lot of Kanye West stories when I started saying to myself, I started typing a title out, and my title the autofill feature filled in a past title. So I have a playlist now. I'll link it in this video. You can go back and watch it's literally called Documenting the Fall of Kanye West, because that's what we're doing here. We're documenting the fall of Kanye West. And I think we as a people, we have to decide right now, do we want to save Kanye West, or do we want to make money off of Kanye West? Are we perfectly fine watching this man crash and burn? You feel me? Because if it was up to me,
do you feel in charge?
Oh yeah!
I'd let him crash and burn. Just keeping it real. No, we can't trade him. We can't trade him. He has no market value. No market value. Let's talk about it. Trump and Kanye West speak amid rappers' anti-Semitic rants. Accusation of Parler. This is crazy, but we'll talk about it. Former President Donald Trump spoke with Kanye West over the phone following the rapper's decision to buy his own social media platform. Isn't it funny? Elon Musk owns Twitter, Donald Trump owns Truth Social, and Kanye West owns Parler. We couldn't get $1 from Dollar Tree if we tried for Kanye West. Buying his own social media person familiar with the call told Politico West placed the call during which two confirmed plans to have dinner, though nothing is currently scheduled. The call comes shortly after he announced that West would be buying Parler, the social media app. I spelled Parler wrong in the title. App that dominated his conversation, and as the rapper faces criticism for a round of highly anti-Semitic comments, including from Trump-allied conservatives. So basically, Donald Trump, over the phone, told this man, yo, you're going a little bit too hard. You're going a little bit too hard. Even Donald Trump knows that he's pushing it. Trump himself commented over the weekend that the American Jews were ungrateful for his support of Israel, warning they need to reassess their political viewpoints before it's too late. So there's a little bit of dog whistling there. But even Donald Trump was out here saying, yo, Kanye, chill the fuck out. But this goes without saying, because the reason we're even talking about this is because Kanye West enjoys his proximity to whiteness. He wants to feel loved. He wants to feel the warmth of love that he could never get while he's currently burning down the village to feel warmth. So it's crazy how he's being sold out, and it doesn't matter. But this is why I asked that question in the beginning. Do we want to make money off of him? Because someone decided to. Nor regrets giving Kanye West anti-Semitic statements on his platform, basically giving him Kanye West a field, a place to spew hate. Because this is a tale of two tapes. LeBron James also has a podcast called The Shop. And look, Kanye West filmed a whole 2-hour interview podcast with them. And believe it or not, nothing from that podcast is going to be aired because they said it was so bad and so anti-Semitic that they couldn't post it. So LeBron James said, this isn't something I support. So he took a stand. He chose not to make any money. But Noor sold his own people out. And at one point he was bragging on Twitter about how he had more views than the Super Bowl, than the NFL on a Sunday. Those aren't bragging rights. Like, so I can condemn him first. Because one, you took advantage of a person going through a mental health crisis. You saw that and said, hey, I got to make my money. But at the same time, like, at what cost? And you know he only said this apology. He didn't say an apology for the shit that he said about George Floyd's wife. I mean, George Floyd's mother and his murder. He didn't make any statements apologizing for how he degraded and denigrated his women of color, Kanye's ex-wife. He only apologized because Kanye West came out and said something about the Jewish people. Speaking to Hot 97, Pete Rosenberg and Laura Stiles, the rapper, explained, well, the logic was the same way you guys are giving me the platform. I think you guys have love for me. You guys have respect for me, and the guys think that I have a say. I have a relationship with Ye. When he was going through a lot of those things he was going through, he would call me and he would actually listen to me and take my advice. So I felt I could control the situation. I felt that I could control the interview and learned early that I didn't. But you want to know something that's crazy? You recorded it. You filmed it. You recorded it. You looked at it. You edited it down. You picked the key parts that mattered. And then you looked at each other in the room and said, should we post this? Y'all all agreed and you posted it. So this is a very shallow apology for me. This doesn't really make much sense to me. But Ye isn't done with his path of destruction and his spiral into downward hell. Kanye West agrees to buy conservative social media platform Parler. Company says. Now, this has been talked to death, but I just want to talk about. Oh, here we go. Perfect. This is the video. So, he's going to buy Parler. He wants to buy this thing. But let's figure out more about who the owner of Parler is.
West Coast.
To acquire popular search media site, a social media company, Parler. Joining me right now for a Fox Business exclusive with more on this breaking news is Parliament Technology CEO George Farmer. George, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
George Farmer. Who's that? Is that Candace Owens? The same Candace Owens? I spelled it wrong again. I spelled it wrong again. That's her husband. Candace Owens, the same girl that's been hounding and in multiple pictures with Kanye West. You can't tell me they're not fucking. They're definitely fucking, right? Like, I'm sorry. If I'm by... And Kanye West has already explained how much he likes her. Like, he finds her attractive. Like, you can't tell me she's not... She's like... Candace Owens is like Disney pretty. What do I mean by that? You always notice that like in certain Disney movies, before the bad the bad intentions of certain character comes out, they always look really pretty, and then once you figure out they're an asshole, for some reason they're shaded differently. They're always frowning and scolding. That's how Candace Owens is to me. Like, I used to think, like, oh man, she's kind of cute. Then I heard her talking, like, oh my god, she's hideous. Your soul is so dark and broken and damaged. I could never ever find you attractive. But other than that, you're just a repulsive human being who takes advantage of people. So basically, Kanye West, once again, his mental health is important, but his mental health isn't a reason for us to excuse his punishment to come. The thing that's crazy to me is that Candace Owens is willing to sell out a black man to help her white husband. Which is further proof to me that if you put all these coons in a battle royale, they won't work together to support white supremacy. They'll eat each other to be the best coon of all coons. They would eat each other. So they can't work. So this is further proof that they're not willing to work together, but they will step on each other's necks to prove that they're the best white person, the closest to the white person. Parler, right?
Good morning, Maria. It's good to be with you.
So is this selling the company to Kanye West?
Well, Parliament Technologies is the parent that owns the Parler asset, and the Parler asset is being sold to Kanye West. Correct.
And tell me why you made this decision. I know that you
and listen to that. He just told the truth in public. Parliament Technologies is the asset that holds the name. The social media website runs on Parliament activity, on Parliament Technologies, implying that Parliament Technologies is the real asset because it's a web server that can usurp AWS's standard. Meaning, the moment he buys Parler, Parliament Technologies can shut down Parler. Kanye West is going to get screwed royally. Because if you don't remember what Parler was used for, Parler was used as a honey trap and kicked off of Android and the iPhone store because they didn't have great moderating skill sets. They didn't moderate their content. And when you don't moderate content, the thing that they like you to believe is that, it's going to be super woke. There's going to be too many social justice warriors coming into the chat and demanding you censor us. No, in reality, if you don't censor the internet or these social media websites, they become a place where kiddie porn is freely distributed. People just start openly talking about joining Klan rallies and stuff like that. And really the one that like gets the attention of officers, they definitely just start planning and talking about how they're going to kill and murder people. They're open bigots. And the thing that's crazy about Truth Social is currently right now, Donald Trump hasn't paid any of his server fees. So like they could shut Truth Social is literally running just because some dude likes it.
Company and created Parliament Technologies as the parent just last month. I want to ask you about that reorg, but first give us your take on why Kanye West will acquire this and what this does for Parler.
So, I mean, I think there's a couple of things to be said here. The first is that Parler needs Ye in many ways because Parler needs its brand to expand, and I think Ye is very interested in expanding his social media presence. What motivated this for him was, of course, his banning from other social media platforms, and this is a trend that we've seen with so many different people. Instagram, Twitter closing down his accounts, expressing discontent with wrongthink on his part, or at least tweets they weren't happy about. And of course, this motivated him, like many other.
Do you see the pure negligence tweets? He tweeted that he was going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. That's just not we're not disagreeing that was that good or bad. Right? So this gives you an idea into the character he is as a person. If he can't flat out call out bigotry, but we go deeper. What's this one real quick? This is just our covering. But now, back to that Nor conversation. This is why Kanye West is dangerous. The mother of George Floyd's daughter files $250 million lawsuit. I do believe we can make money off of him the right way. On his comments, based on the comments he made during that Nori podcast. And this is the tidal wave effect. Because if Nord refused to post that podcast, this never gets out. Kanye West doesn't get sued. And after hearing what they did to Alex Jones, if they did that to a white man, Kanye, what you think they about to do to you? Because you've been an open bragger of your billions. And he talked a little bit about his finances too, about how he likes to pay all his bills on Friday and how he keeps a close eye on his money. Here you are fumbling the bag. George Floyd's daughter has filed a $250 million lawsuit against rapper. It's so smart that they made the kid do it. It is defamation because in the court of law, they proved he died due to physical restraint of a knee being on his neck due to officer neglect. In fact, 4 police officers are in jail who would disagree to agree otherwise. Not only do they have a case, Alex Jones' case makes this more probable because at least in the Alex Jones situation, he wouldn't shut up. And if this is pushed on Ye enough, he won't shut up about it either. And the reason why he was able to say it is because he said Candace Owens gave him the film footage to do it. So it's so apparent how he's being played like a puppet. Like, if this proves anything, this just proves how easily Kanye West can be provoked. Or like he's like a petulant child. Like with something shiny in front of his face. But in the West's recent appearance in the Drink Champ podcast, West made a controversial statement about George Floyd's death, saying he died as a result of fentanyl use. Hennepin County Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Andrew Baker said during his testimony that while Floyd's heart disease and use of fentanyl were contributing factors, they were not the direct cause. The reason why you don't go after Candace Owens is because she can use her bases. She never defamed. I actually watched the shit. She never says that. She just implies that he had fentanyl in his system, which is something that they couldn't prove at the time, or maybe they did have it in toxicology. Not sure, but if it was his system, she's only stating facts. What Kanye West is doing is straight defamation by saying it killed her. It killed him. And that's the problem. Because by implying it killed him, it would mean that Officer Chauvin is innocent. Because then his knee didn't have any impact. But he could have probably gotten away with that. But then he further exacerbated the situation by stating that he didn't even really have his knee on his neck. I so badly want to put my knee on Kanye West. I just want to just put my knee on his back and let him see how that feels. For someone that has experienced no struggle, this dude is so annoying. This dude is beyond annoying. So this is what we're left with, right? We're left with these these shock jock ass headlines, and left with ultimately a question of what do we do with him? What do we do with him at this point? We can't. Do we keep letting him do this? Do we let him do like I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I think I'm just here to document the fall of him. Like, because there's still gonna be some people that buy his shoes. There's still gonna be some people who listen to his music, but what's it gonna take? I don't know, because I think of what's his name? The dude with the Jim Carrey teeth from The Mask, black dude. I want to say the baby, but it's not. Is it Lil Baby? I think it's Lil Baby. I don't know. One of those motherfucking little people, and he's a short person. But, you know, he said something about clap your hands if you ain't never had sex with a gay person, this. He said that at his concert. And he hasn't been able to sell a fucking show since he said that shit. So I'm just curious to know what the fucking line is, right? Where is the line for this dude? Furthermore, when he crosses it, oh, it's the baby. When he crosses that line, when he suffers the consequences for it, we all are in agreement that we're not coming to his aid, right? We're not coming to his aid, right? We got that, right?
Damn.
We're gonna let Kanye West suffer the consequences of his action when the time comes for it. Because it's coming. And Candace Owens, and I guarantee you, Candace Owens and all of them are not going to come to his defense. We know that. Because when he was 2 years ago, when he started crying on stage and having that mental breakdown, black people came to his support. And this time around, I think we let him suffer. What was this dude's name? He's only out there being vocal about things when it affects him alone. Well, this is really destroying people around him. Like, he doxed his children's school, and Kim Kardashian had to fit another $200,000 for extra security because weirdos started showing up to the school. And then Kanye West used that fact to make an argument to the judge why they need to be taken from that school. Talking about he thinks that there's people living in the house, other kids living in the house with them. Like, does Kanye West not know what his kids look like?